Well, it's 3rd of July today and time for another garden tour. Again, a lot has changed. Various things have been taken out of the ground, other things put into the ground. Yeah, so do come along and take a look. Okay, so the little wild patch under the apple tree is getting enormous. But yeah, quite fun to watch the birds poking about in there looking for things. So that's all coming on nicely. Got everything set up for my workshop this morning. Apple mint is really getting big now, and the foxgloves have been replaced with the phlox. So I've got blushing bride, and then I've got cherry caramel and creme brulee summer as well. So looking quite small at the minute, but they will really bulk up. Bunny-tail grasses, I've been cutting a lot of those. And then the dry bed, again looking quite fun, with all sorts of bits and pieces in it. Ammy, larkspur, anything left over that's been shoved in here. Patio plants looking pretty good, and I couldn't believe it when I've got buds on my agapanthus. If you'd seen how they got treated to split them, I really wasn't expecting to get any flowers on them this year. So yeah, a few larkspur appearing in my wheelbarrow, planter, and maybe malatum, lots of calendula, all in these wheelbarrows. Not sure if you can. Erigeron spilling over the edge of the wall there. Okay, let's have a look at the annuals. Quick scan around. Let's have a look. So the Daucus started getting carrot fly, as I suspected, so some of it's come out. Bed of Sweet William has been replaced with Helichrysum, just starting to bud up. The larkspur, I'm drying that like crazy, as well as using it fresh. Melope's looking fab. Last bed of Sweet William that I'm hoping my garden to vase people today will raid. And on the other side, careful with my shadow. Okay, so the nigella, I've been cutting that for drying, and there's some calendula here interspersed with it. A newer bed of larkspur, some Helichrysum, again a newer bed of Antirrhinum snapdragons, which replaced the corncockle, and then the last of the cornflower, which I think I'll just cut for a bit for drying and just try and make the most of that today as well on the garden to vase workshop, and then it'll be coming out. Sweet pea arch, really starting to take shape. I'd run out of clips, so I've got some more now, so I shall be pinning the rest of the branches in like crazy this afternoon. But yeah, it's looking pretty lovely, smelling amazing. Let's just walk down the middle of it. let's look to the right of the sweet pea arch. So calendula art shades and Snow Princess, I believe it is there. Again, the Nigella's finished off, really. I'm just cutting the seed pods for drying. The phlox creme brulee looking fab. This was where my ranunculus were before, so I interplanted those before the ranunculus had quite finished. Another bed, second succession of larkspur. These were in slightly longer than the bit I showed you earlier. I think I've got misty lavender there, if I remember rightly. Still some leftover corn cockle and some Ami Magus there. This is the third succession. It's actually much bigger than I was expecting, seeing as it was sown in January. So on the left-hand side of the sweet pea arch, it's a fantastic crop of Amobium alatum, drying that like billy-o at the minute. And the Rudbeckia experiment, that's cherry brandy, and it is flowering. So I've got one or two plants of cherry brandy, and I believe one or two plants of Sahara. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth trying to keep them over the winter next time, but I think maybe I'll keep them indoors. We'll try, we'll see what happens next time, because they didn't all survive. Hesperus gone, replaced with half a bed of Monarda lombarda, good for drying and fresh, and Bells of Ireland. So I've got half a bed of each there. And Ami's still going strong, I can't believe it. Really happy with that. This is probably not going to last for more than a week or so, I don't think, or maybe a couple of weeks. I think I said that last time though. And my cosmos is looking fab now, having been a little bit worried about it last time I made this recording. It's coming into its own now. So yeah, really starting to get some height on it. Fantastic flowers. I've got Purity and Dazzler. Oh gosh, I can't quite remember which mix this is. Beautiful though. Let's just scan around the Herbaceous Border, which has not been weeded for absolutely months or weeks anyway. Some nice roses in there. They're just a bonus for me. I never guarantee roses, it's not my strength. I do like them, but they just have to fend for themselves. All sorts going on in here, lots of lovely colour. Okay, so allium bed has the sunflower vanilla ice in there. That's coming on nicely. Some scabiosa in there, coming on nicely. Funicosiana and some more allium sphericophyllum just to still get going. A bit of status, acroclinium yet to flower, and some more scabious. And this lovely line of feverfew. Okay, so the raspberry patch coming on now, useful for foliage. Autumn sown snapdragons probably getting past their best, that's for sure. I can still use them. Bumblebees and bees still love them. And the Gypsophila Covent Garden as well, getting a little bit past it. And the Cosmos, getting there. Cosmos Daydream needs a bit more feeding, looking a little bit happier than it did. So the perennials are really getting into their own now. So we've got the Phlox, Sherbet Fountain, Astrantia is still going, coming towards the end. The Echinacea, got a bit of green swan there. We've got some Gypsophila paniculata, the Achillea ptarmica, is just getting going. And then we've got lovely little lot of larkspur, which I just filled in a gap. Oh, and the gooseneck loosestrife. That's just got going now. There we go. Just getting going. That's going to be in its element in a week or so. The echinops yet to colour up, but looking fab. And the Shasta daisy, all out to say hello to the sunshine. The achillea really looking lovely now. And the achillea double diamond, Tarmica, achillea tarmica over there, verbena flowering now, catanach flowering, everything flowering. Not a lot going on in the little greenhouse. The pelargonium looking fab, and you still need to get the netting up. I think I said that last month. And I've got some biennials which have just germinated. That's Dianthus Sweet William. Hesperus is yet to germinate, as is the larkspur. So in the greenhouse, Clarium still persevering with. The larkspur, yep, still okay. Good for drying. How are the zinnias doing? Zinnias are pinched out. So they're on the whole looking pretty happy. We've got a bit of a moth-eaten one at the back there. I'm yet to plant something in there. And then a bit of phlox down this side. I've just been a lot more cautious with my planting distances here. Okay, let's have a look at the dahlia area, the orchard. It's not just dahlias. Okay, so after a fairly massive kind of Chelsea chop with the dahlias, they're fighting back. So there's the Arabian Night. Preference was pretty good as well. Got a workshop here today, so somebody's just cut there was one preference there, so that's gone, which is fine. Okay, so dahlias all starting to, there's still some that are struggling. White aster's always a good one. And then the hardy annuals, so scabious just starting to come here. So I've got the whites here, and then I've got some violets or lilacs at the end. Another little bit of cosmos came in late because I had to just take out the scabious, ping pong scabious. Just didn't seem to want to go. I've just managed to leave in a couple at this end, hoping that they're getting quite big now, so that's looking a bit more promising. Loving the Soteria grass, the Soteria italica, clary sage, looking fab. Second sowing of, I think that was a January sowing of cornflower. But yeah, this year's as opposed to autumn sown. And the Cynoglossum looking lovely. So yeah, very pretty picture here. And then I've got the snapdragons over there. Let's take a look over there. Here we go. So the snapdragons really coming into their own. So these were all sown this year. Start off with tiny seed. So chantilly, bit of apple blossom over there, some lovely lavender, and of course some white. A little spot of statice, and the amaranthus is just starting to cut that now. So I've got viridis, the green one, and velvet curtains.
I almost forgot just to include my little verge here, which is full of, again, leftover flowers, no dig, cardboard in the winter, not too much in the way of weeding at all, shoved a few bits in, and voila, there we have it. Well, that's it for another month. Hopefully my dahlias down here will be flowering next month, but for now I'm just enjoying the perennials and the succession of hardy annuals and perennials which are going mad right now. Happy gardening, and I will see you next month. Please tune in and subscribe to my YouTube channel.